Hi, this is AnneElbey. First, I like to start off with my disclaimer. I am not a guru, messenger, teacher, or counselor. I'm passing on messages I have received telepathically or things I have experienced or observed. The topic of the segment is what could have been avoided plus hate, guilt, and fear. All the many mishaps could have been avoided. The rape, abuse, domestic violence, and the like could have been averted. Cousins reported the incidents, but they were swept under the rug. Just my observation. Based on what I have seen in the public domain, someone wanted to loosh. Why not contact the individual privately and threaten to report them to law enforcement for the assaults on others? Instead, all I saw was public humiliation. No one reacts kindly to public humiliation. All we got were back and forth arguments where the perp refused to admit guilt. What about the reports of domestic abuse and sexual assaults? Was someone looshing off the pain and not doing anything to help? What have people learned other than jealousy and hate? Why is it so important to post that this one and that one hates me? What's the purpose? Does someone want pity, adoration, and constant love? Show me how much you love me by telling me what I did for you. Donate, but don't bother me or my consort. What's wrong with that picture? Hate, guilt, and fear. Constantly speaking of hate when someone is not hating leaves a bunch of people hating. For example, if someone dares to tell the truth about an individual, all of a sudden, you're a hater. If you disagree with someone, you're a hater. Next thing you know, a bunch of people runs around with insanity crying, hate, hate, hate. Who instigated that behavior? Did you not see that it was looshing or vampirism? These days, vampires suck on your energy, in addition to sucking on your blood. You can see it in the negativity on social media platforms. There are entities that feed off our pain and anguish. What do you think takes place when someone constantly says, this one and that one hates me? Better yet, what are you doing in private to evoke such emotions? Attacking people in dreams and in the spiritual realm go unnoticed because it's difficult to prove. If anyone speaks up, the individual is a hater. So who wins? The very person who complains about hate makes you feel guilty by having you shower the individual with love and adoration. Guilt and fear. How many times you see RTs of people having tattoos? Why guilt these people of their tattoos? You can tell them how to remove the tats without making them feel guilty, but you suck on their energy by making them feel guilty. Guilt is a form of fear. No one wants to speak up because they fear a certain someone will attack them, and someone does attack them. I get attacked in the spiritual realm all the time. For every tweet about Ainana or Marduk, I get attacked as soon as I tweet about them, right after. These are no ordinary attacks. They are meant to stop me from speaking out. I don't give up that easily because people deserve to know what's happening to them. In the book Ainana Returns by V.S. Ferguson, Marduk encouraged guilt, making psychology popular. The people of Earth paid psychologists to listen to their fears and guilt for hours, days, and years. If Marduk did not have enough fear energy, he created famines, earthquakes, and hurricanes. Some things played out in nature or holographic images projected on the television. Ainana, the queen of heaven and earth, saw an abysmal future for the earth. After 9 going on 10 years, how many people can think for themselves? All I see is a bunch of people copying and pasting each other. I keep saying all of us get messages. I'll have an experience and intuitively I'll know what it means. And then I'll give an example and I'll tweet about it. That's something that happened to me. And I'll figure out how to put it in words and tweet about it. Okay? So I'm saying if I'm going through whatever and I can tweet about it, why aren't people tweeting more about spiritual stuff that happens to them to pass it on so someone else may learn from it? I mean, those are just examples. I'm sure you have experiences. Can you sum it up in a tweet showing how because of this or because of that, you see why this is and why that is? And, it's just a matter of putting things in perspective and knowing what your experience means and the lesson from that experience that you have learned. Now, Marduk copied and pasted many books and articles and called the text his wisdom. In turn, others copied and pasted. So all I'm saying is talk about what goes on with you. It doesn't have to be anything personal or sensitive. It could be just anything in general. Okay? I tweet about the red-shouldered hawk all the time. It depends. Whenever I hear the cries, I think about what I'm doing, and it could be something overall. It's not necessarily what you're doing. Because if what I'm doing doesn't warrant, like, say, for example, if I'm not thinking of anything negative or I'm not doing anything, I'll think about an overall situation. And sometimes it's a message pointing me to something. I'll just settle down and say, I'm not thinking about anything negative. So what does it mean? And all of a sudden, a message comes to me telling me what I need to focus on or what I need to do. See, all you need to do, if for example, an animal totem shows up and you're not sure, you can say, what does this mean? And you could look up the spiritual meaning, and if you cannot connect the dots, you could say to yourself, what message were you trying to tell me? You will get an answer. Okay? Seriously. Now, this is AnneElbey. Thank you for listening.